Right. So everyone tells you that to matter in politics, you have to vote. Turnout is everything.
It's the core message, right?
Exactly. But we've got a stack of research here that, well, it argues the exact opposite.
That for one specific group of Americans, the only real power move left is to actually stay home.
And we're diving into this idea. It's called strategic abstention, and it's at the heart of the foundational Black American, or FBA, movement.
Their goal is to gain real leverage against the two-party system by, withholding their vote.
So before we get into the strategy itself, we should probably define the problem they're trying to solve.
Right. And it boils down to an idea from political scientist Paul Freimer. He calls it the captured electorate. Think of it like this. The Republican Party largely ignores this group. And the Democrats, well, they know this group has nowhere else to go politically.
So they just take the vote for granted.
They treat it as a sunk cost. It's already in the bank, so to speak. So they spend their energy and their money chasing swing voters instead.
Which means this group has incredibly high loyalty, but basically zero return on that investment.
Exactly.
And the economic data here is just, it's brutal. We're looking at an $11.2 trillion wealth gap.
And decades of loyalty have not moved that needle 1 inch.
Despite being about 14% of the population, Black Americans hold less than 3% of the nation's wealth.
And that's the core friction point. The FBA argument is that the current system only offers symbolism.
Like, say, Juneteenth as a holiday, or the H.R. 40 Reparations Commission that never actually leaves the committee stage.
Right. Symbolism instead of tangibles. Actual policy.
Okay, so the response is to just not vote. But how do you distinguish that from simple apathy?
It's all about the intent. This isn't apathy. It's a calculated procedural protest.
Like a labor strike.
That's the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Workers stop working. They lose pay in the short term, which hurts. But they do it to force management to sign a better long-term contract. It relies on the no-show paradox.
But an election isn't a factory floor. If you strike, you're essentially risking a win for the opposition.
But the logic is, specifically in those critical blue wall states like Michigan or Pennsylvania,
you shatter the assumption that your vote is guaranteed.
You force the party to panic. If the Democrats lose because that bloc stayed home, then in the next cycle, they have to start a competitive bidding for that vote.
So you create a vacuum to break the duopoly.
And you signal that the vote is transactional, not emotional. The mantra is no tangibles, no vote.
So they're holding their vote hostage to force a deal, but what's the specific demand? This is where that shift from race to lineage gets really interesting.
It's a crucial pivot. The movement is shifting away from broad race-based advocacy to a specific constitutional strategy that's based on lineage.
Because race-based programs are vulnerable in the courts.
Exactly. The Supreme Court has become increasingly colorblind, legally speaking, so those programs often get struck down.
So they're trying to litigation-proof their demands.
That's the idea. They point to the Civil Liberties Act of 1988 as the precedent.
The reparations for Japanese-American internment.
Right. And the key point there is that reparations weren't paid because of race. They were paid because it was a specific lineage of people harmed by a specific government action.
So by focusing on lineage, the descendants of U.S. freedmen, you bypass the legal hurdles that always block things like affirmative action.
It creates a completely different legal framework.
That's a huge shift in identity politics, then.
Yeah.
It's moving away from linked fate, the idea that all Black people are in the same boat.
And moving towards strategic independence. It rejects the idea that you have to vote defensively for the whole group.
And instead says you'll only vote offensively to advance the specific interests of your lineage.
It's a high-stakes game of chicken.
You're betting you can break the electoral math without breaking your own community in the process.
It really forces a fundamental question about political power. If you're a captured group, do you actually have any power? The FBA answer is that your only power is the power to say no.
So we'll leave you with this to chew on. If a captured group actually succeeds and causes its party's defeat through abstention, does it just destroy the party? Or is that destruction the only way to force the system to evolve?